This feels like the Pulsar X2 finally getting ahead, all grown up. This is the Pulsar X2 CRAZYLIGHT, and in my opinion, it feels like the refresh the X2 Mini has needed for a while now. In my opinion, the X2 Mini has always been one of the best fingertip grip shapes, especially if you like full-length mice and not the half mice style of thing that brands like Jiwoo's have. It's got flat sides, super low click height, and a very subtle hump that makes it a super flexible and comfortable shape for fingertip grip and aggressive claw grips. Some people I know even like it for palm grip since it's such a unobtrusive shape that you can just rest your hand very comfortably on it. My favorite part of the shape is that the grooves feel subtle, but they still lock my fingers in place, and it feels very intuitive because of this. However, the X2 Mini is a little heavy. When it was new 3 years ago, the original X2 Mini, being about 52-53 grams, was very light relative to its competition. But as a fingertip grip shape, it's staying at the same weight as it went to V2 and V3 models meant that it was starting to fall behind a lot of its competitors that were going 40, sub 40 and even 30 gram weights. And some might argue you might not even feel the difference, but with fingertip gripping, every gram feels a lot heavier than if you're using a claw grip, where you have more contact and more support with the mouse. Now, not everyone needs a 20 gram mouse like the Optimum Zero mouse, at least not yet, but the CRAZYLIGHT dropping over 15 grams from the X2 V3 to hit a 35 gram weight with the included dot skates significantly improves the feel of the X2 for me, and in my opinion puts it into contention as one of the best options for fingertip grip gaming mice out there to buy. The weight of the X2 CRAZYLIGHT is very balanced too, with the mouse not tipping forward or backwards when you pick it up. But more than that, the weight is also very concentrated in the middle, meaning the inertia of the weight feels a lot lower, allowing the mouse to feel more agile and rotate more quickly. This is physics, and it's something that you also see in cars. A car with 50-50 weight distribution, but a lot of its weight at its ends, is going to be way less agile and turn slower than a car that has 50-50 weight distribution, but all its weight in the middle, which is why sports cars are often mid-engined. Now, this effect can be seen when you put this alongside the HitScan Hyperlight, which is similar in terms of weight, has great balance as well, but has a bunch of its weight at its extreme ends. Note how the battery is all the way at the back here on the HitScan Hyperlight. Even though the HitScan Hyperlight has dot skates, which are lower friction, this mouse really rotates and turns a lot more sluggishly than the Pulsar X2 CRAZYLIGHT does, even though the X2 CRAZYLIGHT has higher friction stock skates equipped. And the thing is, when I hold both mice with a claw grip and I flick them for just a sideways motion rather than rotation or micro adjustments, they feel extremely similar in terms of their drag. This means for claw grip, this kind of weight distribution doesn't really matter. But for fingertip grip, it actually feels like it matters a lot, since you are doing a lot of micro movements and micro adjustments with your fingers. I think for anyone that's looking to fingertip grip the X2 CRAZYLIGHT, you could really do it for any hand size that I've had try this. And for claw, I think your hands need to be kind of under 19.5 centimeters long, because my 19.5 centimeter long hands feel barely small enough to comfortably claw grip this mouse, unless you're doing some sort of very aggressive claw grip where your whole palm is on top and you want to have a very forward leaning hold on the mouse. As for palm gripping, well, if your hands are smaller than 18 centimeters long, you should be okay to palm this comfortably, unless you're okay with your fingers sticking off the edge of the mouse. Now, in spite of this very lightweight, build quality is frankly still excellent with very minimal flex all around. And battery life is pretty solid too at lower polling rates of 1000 or 2000 Hz, but if you run it at 8000 Hz, expect to charge this mouse once every 2-3 days, especially with heavy use. Performance is as fast as you expect with a 3950 base XS1 sensor, and the optical clicks surprisingly feel good, which is a big improvement over the X2 V2, which were a little hit or miss. Now, these are still not quite as good as the best mechanical switches out there, but after a little break-in, these clicks feel very light and very crisp. They have no pre-travel and very minimal post-travel, though they do have a little bit of sideways movement, and the clicks do touch, but they do not overlap. They are very consistent in their feel throughout, however, and it's really light even at the back. The coating of this mouse is pretty good too, with solid grip. I don't think it's the best ever, but it is decent. And I think the scroll wheel is excellent. I personally still think Pulsar's scroll wheel is one of the best on the market. Very crisp, very sharp, very notchy. though some might feel each step is a little too widely spaced, and the thumb buttons feel solid enough with no pre-travel and minimal post-travel, and also very little sideways wobble. All those good fundamentals, paired with unique colors and aesthetics, and a key important loss in weight, has taken one of the best low-profile gaming mouse shapes you can buy and puts it ahead as one of, in my opinion, the best choices in the market right now if you're doing an aggressive claw or fingertip grip. Subscribe.